Intrusion detection and prevention system. In this video, we will see intrusion detection system, types of IDS, intrusion prevention systems, types of IPS, detection method, response times, architectures, key functions, and limitations. So what is IDS? An intrusion detection system is a securing tool designed to monitor network traffic or system activity for suspicious behavior or policy violation. So its primary purpose is to detect and alert administrator about potential security threats such as unauthorized access, malware attacks, and attacks like DOS attack, denial of service. Unlike firewalls which block threats, IDS focuses on identifying and reporting them. And here you can see we have an example of intrusion detection system where we have a server, packets are going through from the router, then it passing the firewall check. If the packets are valid or incoming in a specific amount without any concern regarding the denial of service, it passed to the intrusion detection system. If the intrusion detection system detect any threat, it blocks that specific packets. Otherwise, the packets move to the user. So this is how basically IDS works. It blocks the suspicious activity on the network and allow the legitimate one. So types of intrusion detection systems. We have network-based IDS and host-based IDS. So network-based IDS basically monitor network traffic or suspicious activity deployed at strategic point within the network near firewalls or routers. Like we have example of Snort and Suricata. So in the upcoming labs, we will be going to install, configure, and create rules for the Snort. Then we have host-based IDS, which basically monitor activity on individual devices like servers, workstations, track file changes, log files, and system configuration. So in example, we have OSEC and Tripwire. Then we have intrusion prevention system. So an IPS is an active protecting solution for preventing possible malicious activities pattern, abnormal incidents, and policy violations. So it is responsible for stopping, preventing, terminating the suspicious event as soon as the detection is performed. So what is the difference between IPS and IDS? So basically IDS detect the threat and IPS detect the threat as well as prevent the threat as well. So this is the basic difference between the IDS and IPS. So here in the diagram we have an intrusion prevention system where we have a company network with the working employees. In the company network, we have deployed the firewall and the intrusion prevention system before the router that is basically connected to the internet. So whatever traffic is coming from the internet, it will pass through the router, then it will go to the IPS. The IPS basically first checks whether the traffic is suspicious or legitimate. If the traffic is malicious, the IPS will block that traffic and prevent the threat as well. So not only it detects, it also prevents the suspicious activity. So if the traffic is legitimate, it will pass to the firewall and then to the company network as well. So this is how basically IPS works. So this is basically how IPS works. Types of intrusion prevention systems. We have network intrusion prevention system, behavior based, wireless intrusion, and host based intrusions as well. The network intrusion prevention monitor the traffic flow from various areas of the network. The aim is to protect the traffic on the entire subnet. If a signature is identified, the connection is terminated. Then we have behavior-based intrusion prevention system. So in the behavior-based system, it monitors the traffic flow from various areas of the network. The aim is to protect the traffic on the entire subnet. If a signature is identified, the connection is terminated. In a wireless intrusion prevention system, it monitors the traffic flow from the various wireless networks. The aim is to protect the wireless traffic and stop possible attack launched from there. If a signature is identified, the connection is terminated. Then we have host-based intrusion prevention system, which actively protects the traffic flow from a single endpoint device. The aim is to investigate the traffic on a particular device. If a signature is identified, the connection is terminated. So here we have detection and prevention techniques. So in the techniques we have signature based detection, behavior based and policy based. So in the signature based approach we have a technique that relies on the rules that identify the specified pattern of known malicious behavior. This model helps to detect known threats as well. So these techniques identify new threats with the new patterns that pass through the signatures. Then we have behavior based detection system. So in this approach, this technique identifies new threat with a new pattern that pass through the signature. The model compares the known and normal threat with the unknown and abnormal behavior as well. So this model helps to detect previously unknown or new threats as well. Then we have policy based. So this technique compares detected activities with the system configuration and security policies. So this model helps to detect policy violations as well based on response type. So we have two types of IDS based on the responses. We have active and passive responses. In passive IDS, it detects and log threats but does not take action to stop them. It also alerts administrator for further investigation. In active IDS, it detects threats and automatically take action to block or mitigate them as well, like dropping packets, blocking IP address as well. So based on architecture, we have centralized IDS and distributed IDS as well. So data from multiple sensors is sent to a central location for analysis. As compared to distributed IDS, we use multiple sensors and analysis point across the network for scalability. In central IDS, all data from multiple sensors, network traffic logs is sent to a central server. Whereas in the distributed IDS, multiple IDS sensors and analysis nodes are distributed across the network. In centralized IDS, the analysis and detection of the threat happen at this central location. Whereas in distributed IDS, each node performs local analysis and maybe share alert with a central system. Then in the centralized IDS, it is easier to manage and maintain but can become a bottleneck if the network grows. Whereas in the distributed IDS, more scalable and resilient, reducing single points of failure. In centralized IDS, it is suitable for smaller networks with the well-defined parameters, and distributed IDS is suitable for large, complex, and segmented networks like enterprise or cloud environments. So, key function of IDS. The key function of IDS is to monitoring, detection, alerting, and logging. Continuously observe network or system activity, identify the potential threats, notify the administrator about the detected threat, and record the event for forensic analysis and compliance. So we have certain limits for the IDS as well, like false positives, false negatives, and performance impact. Introduction to Snort IDS. So in this video we will see introduction to Snort, how Snort works, Snort rule format, use cases for the Snort. So the question arises, what is Snort? Snort is an open source network intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention system as well. We can consider the Snort both for IDS and IPS. It is widely used for real-time traffic analysis, packet logging, and detecting the various types of attacks such as buffer overflows, stealth port scans, and other malicious activities. So we have following key features for the Snort. So basically what Snort do is packet sniffing, in which the Snort can capture and analyze network traffic in real time. Protocol analysis, it can decode and analyze various network protocols like TCP, UDP, ICMP. Rule-based detection, Snort uses a flexible rule language to detect suspicious activity. Another feature of Snort is alerting. Snort can generate alerts when it detects suspicious activity based on predefined rules. In IPS mode, Snort can actively block or mitigate detected threats as well. So how Snort works? So it will first decode the packets, Snort capture and decode network packets, then pre-process it. Packets are pre-processed to normalize or detect anomalies. It also has a detection engine. The detection engine matches the packet against a set of rules. So we have a set of rules for the Snort in order to detect a suspicious packet in the PCAP file or in the network. So then we have logging and alerting. If a rule matches, Snort logs the packet and generates an alert if Snort detects any suspicious activity on the network. Then we have output modules. Alert and logs can be sent to various outputs like files, databases, or SIM systems as well. Snort rule format. So Snort rules are the core of its detection mechanism. A rule consists of following. We have two major parts of the Snort rule. First is header and then we have options in the rule. So in the rule header we specifies the action like alert, log, pass, protocol, source IP, destination IP and the ports as well. So we will discuss these stuff in the labs as well. So in the rule options we basically defines the conditions for triggering the rule like content matching or flags or for any suspicious activity. So here we have an example snort rule where we have a alert which we called action, then we have protocol TCP any to any. It's mean we have a source IP address and source port. If you don't specify the source IP address, it doesn't necessary to mention the source IP or source port. It is basically optional. So then we have an arrow sign and then we have a destination IP address and destination port 80. This is where basically the remote address is communicating. Then we have message like HTTP GET request detected. If any of the packet contains the GET request, it will basically alert this message. Then we have content where we are basically detecting the GET request and the SID which is the specific rule ID for the packet and rev is the revision which is here 1. So here are the few use cases for the snort. We can use snort in network monitoring to detect and log suspicious activity on a network and for intrusion detection like identify potential attacks or policy violations. Snort also used in intrusion preventions like actively block malicious traffic in IPS mode and for forensics as well to analyze logged packets to investigate the security incidents as well. Thank you. I will see you in the next video.